Good morning everybody, and this is your Forex Day trade setups for today. So starting off with Euro USD as usual, and we're on the 8-hour chart. But yeah, it's been a bit of a up and down week. You can see we started the week with a bit of a rally, got a bit of a range bar, went sideways, and then yesterday pretty much had a bit of a meltdown. Now, there's a couple of things on the 8-hour which is really concerning me, and this is a theme right through the markets right now, is the volatility is massive. There's a huge amount of volatility, but there's no structure. So if you look at my moving averages, the only bit of structure we do have is that we are below the 155. The 33 and 66 EMA here are in a bullish pattern, but yet they're pointing down. So I anticipate we're probably going to get a crossover here. Now it does look like a bit of a flag forming, but if you start looking at the 1 hour, which is what we want to trade, you could see that's a pretty solid move down. And if you look at the oscillators, they're kind of grouping up in an environment which is indicating that this here is potentially a flag or a flat bottom triangle. So a flat top triangle, should I rather say. So that would be the neckline here, roughly around 117.695. So obviously what I want to see is just put another level in, just because you will get some kind of a fake out. And we're looking for possibly a rejection of 117.757 for a move to the downside. Now it's not confirmed yet, but it does look like the dollar is heading for a bit of strength. So I'm still on hand still. I'd want to see a bit of a pullback. Ultimately, I'd love to see a pullback higher up into this zone here at 118 basically. But whether that happens or not is another story. So 118 is the one area to watch, and then right where we are now up until 117.757 is another area to watch. So if we start getting some rejection off there, and I'd look at that off the 15-20 minute charts, we start getting some price action rejecting those areas, then I would anticipate a second leg down, which is equal if not more than what we had yesterday, and that would be something in the line of 660 points. Anyway, moving across to US dollar Japanese yen, this is still sideways. We are now back at the moving averages now, so this is a critical junction for us right now. So right there where we've rejected at the moment, that is a critical junction. This is the top of the bottom of the range, as I pointed out yesterday. Pointless trying to pick, choose one, just pick the most common one, and that seems to be what it is down here. So bottom of range is 109.134. We are bouncing off this area at 109.880, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see that that's a 61.8 Fibonacci. I suppose if we just do it correctly, it might help us. You can see right off the 61.8 that we are rejecting at the moment. So move down to the hour. We again, are we anticipating a move down, which would mean weak dollar, or are we looking to break through the structure and move to the top of the range? The oscillators are indicating that we should be looking to move down. I'm still on hands. We are above and below the moving averages. There's really no structure or any indication that I need to be trading the dollar right now. British pound, Japanese yen. So we sort of gradually moved up. We had a big sharp move down, gradually moved up, got a bit chaotic here in amongst the moving averages, and then we have formed what is looking like a bottom. Oscillators also grouped to the downside and crossed over quite nicely on the 8-hour. So that indicates a bottom. For me, we are ranging as well, and we're going to need to break above this range, and I'll come back and test it before I start looking at it. Right now, I would assume it would probably going to move back down to the bottom of the range. So for as long as we stay below the 155 EMA here, and we sort of get some rejection price action up here, then I'm looking for a move down. So good strategy here is going to be London breakout. So get the first seven 1 hour bars, draw your range around it, and wait for a break below the bottom of that range, and then you should be looking for a move back down here to 150.865 area. But that is sideways, so I'm not interested in any long-term trades. Maybe a little scalp to the downside. Nice thing about a range trade is you can take the you can do a 15-minute view like this, and for example, put your, where we are now, you could put a bit of an entry there, put a limit order in there, and then just put a stop above the current high at the moment. And so that gives you the structure that you need to break. So drop below that, swing low, then that creates a lower low, and then you obviously could be in early on the move as well. But nice thing about that is it's a scalp and it's a low risk. So smallish position, tight stop loss, and see what happens. Euro British pound, look what's happened this week. Big up, big down, big up, big down. The only thing that I can say with authority here is that we have rejected these moving averages pretty solidly. So we've got 2 8-hour bars here with big tails. One was a range bar, one, or both are actually range bars, but one is a proper solid range bar. The other one could be sort of a pin bar-ish type thing. But then we have this green range bar as well in amongst this mix. That is just an indication of sideways price action. We are rejecting the moving averages, but if we start looking at the hour, you'll see rejecting 155 on the hour. So the 155 for me is pretty much a trend, especially on the hour. It gives you an indication of where you stand in the day. So right now we are range bound, and I'm not interested in trading ranges. And look at how tight the ranges become. So big down, big up, and then sort of consolidating. Something is about to happen. Whether it happens this week or next week or the week after, it's pretty much anyone's guess. But for me at the moment, this is not what I want to be trading. It could be rejecting here. You could probably find a London breakout strategy here, but I wouldn't want to be trading to the upside because we are below the 155. I'd be wanting to trade to the downside. Simple as that. Anyway, not much going on for me on Forex, so it's looking like an early weekend for me, or a long weekend. So we will catch up with you on Monday. Cheers for now.